Hi, everybody. It's time for Rose Garden Radio, live from the very center of the universe. Canton, Ohio. Yay. Well, thanks for being here. It's a beautiful Sunday. I hope you had a great holiday weekend. I know I did. And so, if some of you if this is your first time to Rose Garden Radio, welcome. This is a show dedicated to helping you shift from what we call 3D to 5D, living a life more fully from your heart and living your dream life because you really, truly can. So, a lot of times I do pie stories, which are real stories that people have shared about their journey. And but a long time ago, I know many of you know I wrote a spiritual memoir um, about how I became Larana, and through that, my niece Amy asked me, "Will you write a book with me in it?" And I was like, "Oh, honey, sure, of course I will, but I have to finish, my memoir." And then about a year passed. I finished my memoir. It's available here at the shop. But about a year passed, and my niece was like, "Did you start our book?" And I'm like, "Oh no." I thought she might forget, but I have to keep my word. And all along, I had started to think of sort of like a contemporary Nancy Drew Nancy Drew type book with my niece Amy as the star. And um, anyways, once I kind of had that concept and I started, the book just came through like a movie. I could barely scribe it. I could barely keep up with it. About 3 days, 3 sessions later, it was done. But then it took about 8 months to convert that into an actual book, right? And and then I did an edit, and I did read it on the show in parts like I'm going to do now, but I set the book down for about a year. It seems like it's amazing that it went so fast, but it's time to get it out there. So I really opened it up and took a deep dive, and I'm you know polishing it up again, and I'm going to publish it maybe on Amazon, or I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet, but that's kind of my goal, is to get it ready, upload it onto Amazon, and have a few books here or whatever. But we'll see. But anyways, I'm going to start reading at least the first chapter today. It's not that long, for like 5 pages, that I feel good about, and it helps me to read it out loud, and it helps me to get some feedback. So if you'll indulge me, um, I will start. Let's see. Let me go back. And I want to get this done very quickly too. Now it's like I know the window is now, and I'm going to do it. So I'm just, yay, I'm on it, right? So anyways, here we go. It's called A Weekend with Aunt Larana and the Sisterhood of the Golden Rose. This is book one of the Amy Hill series. So I do have a series. I have some. I have another book to do, right? Um, Anyways, by Larana Rose Day. That's me, in case you guys didn't know. And the most of the book is written in Amy's voice. So here we go. I pulled up in front of Aunt Larana's house in my new pre-owned purple Ford Fusion. I call her the Plum. As I turned off the engine, I decided to stay. And let me just preface too, this is a young adult book, but it's also for adults too. So my hope is it's something that the kids and parents can read together. But anyways, as I turned off the engine, I decided to stay out in the plum for a few minutes to look at all of the text I had gotten during the 2.5 hour drive from Columbus to Canton, Ohio. While I was sending some emojis, I couldn't help but notice that my aunt's house looked out of place on her block. Although I knew it was nestled in one of Canton's oldest historic neighborhoods, the kind with uneven brick streets and replicated gas lamp posts. I need to change that. Anyways, with gas lamp posts, it just didn't seem to completely fit in. The house felt almost medieval. This house chose me, Aunt Larana had declared right after she bought it. When it was time to leave the guest house at the Santa Clara Monastery, everyone told me I would just know my new home when I found it. However, the opposite occurred, and this house recognized me. It must have put a little spell on me too, because the next thing I knew, I was telling my realtor that I wanted to purchase it. My aunt had said, with her magical laugh that tinkled like wind chimes on a breezy day. Tell your client to put in her best offer, the selling agent told her. This house would have been sold this morning if I could have reached the owners. It was all meant to be, Aunt Larana declared, beaming a smile that came from deep inside of her. Let me change that. From deep inside of her. So here I was on my first solo road trip. I was just about to get out of the car when the front door flew open and out floated Aunt Larana. Amy, I'm so happy to see you, my aunt exclaimed as she glided down the front walk and stood beside the plum. I jumped out and we hugged, the genuine kind of hug that made me feel warm and fuzzy. I should say warm and fuzzy all over. I realized that I had made the right decision to visit over this 3-day weekend when I felt a big sigh of relief escape from somewhere deep inside of me. I must admit, I've been feeling a little down lately because I'm not sure what I want to do with my life. On one hand, I feel like I should have some fun. Oh, wait a minute. On one hand, I feel like I should have some sort of plan. And on the other hand, I feel like I want to take some time to just live. Although I'm not even really sure what that means yet. You're just 16 and have 2 more years of high school, I keep telling myself when this thought comes into my mind and bothers me. But why do I feel so restless? We are going to have a marvelous weekend, Amy, Aunt Larana said when we finally released our embrace. Let me take a good look at you, she said, holding me at arm's length and admiring me like a beautiful painting. You look and feel amazing. This is the first time it's been just me and you, Aunt Larana declared with a mysterious grin as she helped me unload my bag from the trunk. I'm a triplet. There is my brother Lance and my identical twin sister Julie, although we don't look exactly alike. We were all born premature, but I was the smallest, weighing only 1 pound and 1 ounce. I seem to be a petite version of Julie, who is very athletic, and more outgoing. I don't mind though, because I've always known that I am special too in my own way. I just wish I knew what that way was. As we approached the house, I thought about how special it was inside and out. I thought I'm editing as we go. It really helps me to read it out loud, and I really appreciate, having an audience for this. Um, okay. It's not like my parents' house or any other house I've ever been in. There are original paintings, sculptures, and plants in every room, and vibrant hand-woven rugs on top of hardwood floors. Before moving in, my aunt restored much of the house back to its original 1920s state. I remember how excited she was when a chunk of plaster came loose while she was stripping off the old wallpaper, revealing the original blue-green paint that had been there almost 100 years ago. She had it color matched and reapplied. I could go, oops, oops. Okay, so I said she had it color matched and reapplied. I could go on and on, but I think you get the picture. Go on and on. It's the kind of house you feel comfortable in from the moment you enter. There's a special cat named Dorothea who is living there too. Aunt Larana is very special, I should say very unique. In her own way. Aunt Larana is very unique in her own way too. My mom says she has always marched to her own drummer. She's traveled around the world and could write a book about all of her adventures. I know she has favorite musicians and doesn't think twice about seeing them anywhere. Wait a minute. I know doesn't think twice of flying anywhere to attend their concerts if the spirit moves her. I need to tidy up that sentence a little bit. Recently, she started a business called Miss Larana's Alchemical Beauty, which she claims to operate in the fifth dimension. Aunt Larana says the third dimension is where most of the world is living right now, but we are moving into the fifth dimension where we live more fully from our hearts and our deepest dreams become reality. She also says that both dimensions are here right now, so we really aren't going anywhere. Honey, I haven't made any plans for us. We can have dinner at Javasi Vineyard tonight or just stay here. And there are plenty of thrift stores and boutiques if we feel like shopping tomorrow. We could do whatever you want, Aunt Larana concluded as we stepped into the foyer. Thanks, Aunt Larana. I just feel like relaxing here tonight. Maybe we could hang out in your library and talk, I said, beginning to feel the weariness from the drive creep into me. I think I'll take a short nap in my room right now, I said, grabbing my bag. Let's see, right now, I'll say, if you don't mind. If you don't mind, I said, getting my bag and heading for the staircase. That's a fantastic idea, Amy. I'll put her around the kitchen and see if I feel inspired to make something for supper. Have a nice rest, sweetheart, Aunt Larana said, giving me another hug before I headed upstairs. Just editing a little, sticking in that Amy. Okay. Aunt Larana has always told me that her guest room is my room. Knowing that always makes me feel good. I think knowing that has always made me feel good. Okay, that is the first little chapter. Thanks for hanging in there with me, and I think I'm picking up on your vibes, and it's helping me even do a little more of an edit And it, like I say, it really helps me to read this out loud and get some feedback. So thank you for today. And next week I may have a pie story. I may have some of this story. I'm not sure yet. So we'll just stay tuned and see what happens. Anyways, I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. I love you all so much. And if you're downtown, come, stop in and see me. I know this coming weekend there's the Blues Fest and barbecue extravaganza, sort of combined with the first Friday. So it's Friday, I think 5 to 9, and Saturday sometime in the afternoon till 9, something like that. But anyways, a big weekend is coming up, and I hope to see. If you're downtown, stop in, at least say hi to me. I'd love to see you and hopefully catch up. All right. Until next time, I love you.